If you ranked every household in America by income and net worth, many would land in a very different place than they think. And that misunderstanding is the reason so much financial advice feels frustrating, confusing, or even useless, even when it sounds responsible. There's one comparison people make that quietly breaks their motivation. We'll come back to that later. I'm Kaylee, a dentist turned financial educator, teaching people how to build sustainable and quiet wealth. In this video, I'll walk you through the 6 levels of wealth in America, based on income and net worth, using Federal Reserve data. By the end, you'll know where you actually stand, and more importantly, which financial rules truly apply to you right now. Because using the wrong rules at the wrong level is one of the fastest ways to feel stuck. Before the levels, one definition matters: net worth. It's simply what you own minus what you owe. Cash, investments, retirement accounts, and home equity, minus debt like mortgages, student loans, and credit cards. It is not a scorecard of intelligence or effort. It's a snapshot. And once you see how uneven those snapshots are, the rest of this becomes much clearer. Let's get started with level 1. Level 1 is the lower class, and this level is often misunderstood. Households here typically earn under $40,000 a year, often with unstable income. Net worth is near zero or negative. The defining feature isn't bad decisions, it's lack of margin. Almost every dollar goes towards survival, and one unexpected expense can undo everything. At this level, optimization advice is noise. The priority is stability, cash flow, avoiding fees, preventing high-interest debt from compounding. Even a small emergency buffer of $500 to $1,000 can change outcomes, not because it creates wealth, but because it prevents setbacks from becoming permanent. Once income stabilizes, the tension changes. And this is where many people quietly feel stuck without understanding why. Level 2 is the lower middle class. Income often ranges from $40,000 to $70,000. Net worth is positive but modest, commonly between $10,000 and $75,000. There's usually a car, some savings, maybe a retirement contribution. On paper, things look fine. Emotionally, money still feels fragile. One medical bill or job disruption can erase months of progress. The focus here is consistency, building a real emergency fund, paying down high-interest debt, capturing any employer match, and resisting lifestyle inflation because this is the level where many households stall. This leads to the level most people believe they're in, and it's more deceptive than it looks. Level 3 is the middle class. Household income often falls between $70,000 and $120,000, with net worth around the national median, just under $200K. Home ownership is common. Retirement contributions are regular. And yet, many people here still feel constrained. The reason is liquidity. Much of the net worth is locked in home equity and retirement accounts. Flexibility is limited. This is why earning more often doesn't feel like relief at this level. The focus shifts to resilience, building liquid savings alongside retirement, simplify investing, reducing large fixed expenses, because lowering required income often creates more freedom when raising income. When income climbs higher, the rules shift again. This is where things start to look good on the outside. Level 4 is the upper middle class. Households often earn over $120,000, sometimes reaching $150,000 or more. Net worth typically exceeds $300,000 and may approach $1 million. Only about 15 to 20% of households reach this level. Assets begin doing more of the work, but lifestyle often rises alongside income, keeping dependence on high earnings intact. This is where people often look wealthy but aren't always free. The focus here is optionality, directing income toward investments instead of upgrades, managing risk, reviewing insurance. Then money starts behaving differently at level 5, which is the upper class. This group includes roughly the top 10% by net worth, generally starting around 1.5 million. Income matters less than assets. Portfolios are diversified. Decisions are less constrained by monthly cash flow. The focus shifts from growth to sustainability. Spending rate matters more than income. Preservation, tax efficiency, and avoiding major mistakes become central. And finally, there's a level that quietly distorts expectation for everyone else. Level 6 is the top 1% and beyond. Net worth reach into the multi-millions, often exceeding $10 million. Wealth is driven by business ownership, large portfolios, and generational planning. The focus is structure, longevity, and coordination. Small mistakes can have massive consequences, which is why planning replaces hustle. Now, let's return to the comparison I mentioned earlier. The average household net worth in America is over $1 million. The median is under $200,000. Extreme wealth at the top pulls the average upward, creating expectations that don't reflect typical households. That's why so many people feel behind. They are comparing themselves to a number that was never meant to represent them. Knowing your level doesn't define you. It clarifies you. It tells you which advice applies now and which belongs later. Progress looks different at every stage, and timing matters more than copying rules written for someone else. Take care of yourself and remember this. Peace isn't found, it is built. I'll see you in the next video.